The heavy rain overnight had cleared by the morning, and which enabled a dry start to the drive south, initially along the Rondane Scenic Route. My first stop was to the Folldal mines at Folldal Gruva, which are one of Norway's foremost technical and industrial heritage sites. The small yellow diesel locomotive exhibit was originally from Austria. The 20 horsepower locomotive was used in the mines in the 1960s. However, my visit was limited as the museum didn't open for another 90 minutes, so I had a quick look around outside and then got back on the road. It was chilly overnight, and I awoke to clear blue skies. After a lazy late start, I headed off to the Norwegian Industrial Workers Museum at Vermont, which contains an exhibition about the Telemark heroes in World War II. Parking for the museum was down a narrow lane off the main E37, across a bridge over a gorge, and then it was a 700-metre uphill walk to the museum. Between 1929 and 1977, the museum was the location of Hydro's hydrogen plant, which employed the Haber-Bosch production method. Heavy water, or deuterium oxide, was produced as a byproduct of this process. Heavy water from the Vermont plant was a world focal point during World War II. Nuclear researchers had discovered it could be used to build a bomb with huge destructive potential. Shortly after the Freshman tragedy, the Allies decided to carry out a second operation against heavy water production at Vermont, to be known as Gunnicide. The Gunnicide team was parachuted onto the Hardangervidda Plateau in mid-February 1943, where they met up with a group of Norwegian soldiers to carry out the operation. The action was successfully executed on the night of the 28th of February 1943. All of the saboteurs got away safely and nobody was killed. 500 kilograms of heavy water was lost as a result of the operation. Several of the saboteurs remained in the area to organise a resistance movement, and the demolition team escaped to Sweden on skis. Gunnicide was the most famous sabotage raid undertaken in Norway during the Second World War. After the hydrogen plant had been blown up and demolished, its remains were packed down under a more than 10-metre deep layer of earth, stone and concrete in 1977. In 2015, the remains of the plant were declared protected and became a UNESCO World Heritage Site. A decision was made to excavate the heavy water cellar. An industrial archaeological dig uncovered the heavy water cellar in 2017. The cellar level was underground for 40 years, but remained intact and in surprisingly good condition, and this forms part of the special exhibition at the museum. In the machine hall, the deafening noise has been replaced by silence. The machines have stopped running, yet the echoes of history remain. There was also an exhibition on workers' rights and a new way of looking at modern-day concerns. Then it was back to the campsite, and after a spot of fishing, some freshly caught salmon for dinner and an early night. Tomorrow sees the beginnings of the return journey home. Please remember to click the subscribe button, and more information on the museum can be found in the description.